Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's race day once again here. I've got Ryan Joey Tron back on for the Grand Park 200 in Chicago. It's a little bit different race. Obviously, it's a road course race here downtown Chicago, so the show's going to be a little bit different. But we got a special guest here to start things off. I'd like to bring on right now Stephen. Oh, sorry, how do you pronounce your last name?
Malazzi.
Mazzolli. Okay, I would have been close, but
I've been called Mazzoli, Malazzi, Malozzi, all the things. Anything you could possibly imagine. I think my last name
okay.
is pronounced that way.
Well, if you don't know Steven, he drives for the NASCAR series, the truck series here, and I know Joey here has a few questions for you, Steve. So I'm gonna let him ask away.
Yeah. So first off, thank you for taking the time out to come on and speak with us.
Of
Got
course.
4 quick questions for you. So first, it's not every day we get to talk to a NASCAR driver on our show. So far in your professional career, what's been your favorite moment racing for RBR?
Well, I still can't get over the fact that people call me NASCAR driver. That's like mind-boggling to me that's a real thing that I can say about myself. Um, my favorite moment was almost certainly going to be Mid Ohio last year when I made my debut because just everything that had to happen to get that to come together um, was just so crazy and so intense. And we basically totaled out the truck in practice. We just put it together with a hammer and some welds and went out there and raced it. Um, had a lot of struggles throughout the race. Survived a lot of attrition. It looked like at the very end we had spun out, we had crashed, we couldn't get the truck refired. It looked like we weren't even going to finish, and somehow it all came together. We not only ended up finishing on the lead lap, but we finished I think 22nd, which if you know anything about Raymond Brothers Racing, it's a small truck team, right? 22nd is a great day. Like with a truck that's still standing at the end, 22nd is a really 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 good day. That was the best finish we ended up having. I think for the rest of the year, maybe we had one finish that was better than it. So to end up, coming home in P22 in my NASCAR debut, that didn't even look like it was ever going to happen was pretty crazy. It was pretty awesome.
It's pretty solid, especially with how you said, when you were you thought it was gonna be totaled out and finishing, especially coming in placing 22. That's pretty awesome for a
Yeah,
first
yeah,
race debut.
definitely cool for sure.
So, next question for you. Driving part-time for the truck series, it's got to be quite an adrenaline rush once you're in that car. When do you think we'll see you out there competing again?
So there was some discussion about going back to Mid Ohio next week. I don't believe that's the case anymore. I know for a fact, 100% certainty, that I will be on the track at Pocono in the 33 for RBR.
Nice.
Um, I also know, and this is not like publicly announced yet, so I guess this is kind of a big thing to say. I will be doing Bristol, um, and there will be some pretty big support at Bristol that I think people are going to be very excited to see out on the racetrack. Um, that's all I can say about that for now. But right now, we definitely have Pocono on the schedule. We definitely have Bristol on the schedule. I'm trying to find money for Talladega, and those would be the 3 I would like to do this season.
That's pretty awesome. One thing leading into that is rumor has it you're trying to be the first Truck Series driver to start 5 races behind 5 different trucks. You
I
want to
don't
tell
know
us
that
a little bit about that?
I don't know that I'm trying to be. It's just really funny how it's worked out. So when I first started last year, RBR had the 43, right? And they were the 43 and 33 last season. Um, or the 43 and 34. I forget which two. They're one of those two combos. So I got the 43 last year because the 43 was not the A program, it was the B program. And the guy who went to Mid Ohio and was my teammate brought so much more money than I did. He obviously was going to get the A effort. So it was the 43 last year. Then we went to Martinsville, and there was um, Josh had a full time driver, and there was some concern that we wouldn't be able to qualify the 34 on speed. First short track in a truck, it's kind of a tough situation to try and beat some other trucks in, to make it in. And with the way that the system works, with there being an owner's points provisional, you have to beat like 7 trucks to make it into the race, and that's tough to do for our small program. So um, instead, Josh was scheduled to drive the AM Racing 22, and I have built such a close relationship with him. He decided to basically do a ride swap and didn't even end up entering the 34 and let me hop in the 22, which was awesome. Awesome. So that's the 43, that's the 22. We've got the 34 from Gateway. Gateway was 36 trucks, so we didn't have to worry about really making the race. So I was able to just hop in the 34 and go get us some points and drive around there. I believe, if I'm not wrong, we'll be in the 33 at Pocono. So that'll be 4 different trucks. And then we don't know what the Bristol plan is yet for a truck. We know that we have a ride somewhere. We're just not sure where or what the number's going to be or any of that stuff. So there's a real possibility to be as far as I'm concerned, the first driver to ever jump from 5 different teams over their first 5 races in NASCAR.
Well, that's pretty damn awesome. I'm rooting for you. I hope it happens. And it'd be pretty cool to say, we had you on our show and you were telling us about it live in real time and it actually came to fruition. So that would be really cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. My next question is geared towards today's race. What are your expectations for the Cup Series race today, given the Xfinity race is currently ongoing? Do you think it'll factor in a little bit to the track? Do you think the weather will play into any factor? Just pretty much what are your expectations for today's race?
I think that passing is hard in the Xfinity series right now. Like, it's so difficult. I mean, we're watching cars that started at the back that are, up to 15th or 16th after pit stops, and it's halfway through the race, and they are just clawing at every position, And these are cars that were 2nd and 3rd on the practice charts, like Mayer and Sheldon Creed. I think if passing is hard in Xfinity, it's going to be even harder with Cup because you have the extra gear. I mean, we've seen it on short tracks everywhere. Slow corners in the Cup car are really hard to pass in because you can just drop a gear and disappear. I'm a little concerned about. I am the biggest proponent of NASCAR trying new things. I think it's great that they went to Chicago. I'm loving it so far. I think that the rain sucks and it killed what was a great atmosphere and a great start to a great event. And I think the in-person experience is probably incredible. I will say the track design is definitely difficult to pass on. And I think what we've seen from the Xfinity race so far would indicate that a top 5 starting car probably wins this race in the Cup race. I don't think Custer's even had a challenge for the lead yet. So I want to say Denny Hamlin is the favorite because he's on the pole, but I do think that the tough part about that is I truly believe that Shane Van Gisbergen is on another level. It's so hard to do because I think everything's against him, right? I don't know that an open car winning is a great thing for NASCAR. I don't know that helps any of the teams with the charter system or any of that stuff out. But man, I watched his footwork on the broadcast, and it's just miles ahead of anyone else's. I mean, it's crazy how good he is on the footwork side of things. And I think at a track like Chicago, that's going to be huge. You can see it when he goes into the corner. I mean, he is just stopping so much later than everybody else. And I think it's because, I mean, you watch it. He even uses the clutch to stop himself from wheel hopping. It's insane. Everything is down to a T with that guy. I think the experience is going to come into play, and I think he showed the speed in the next-gen car. I also think he, unlike Hamlin, had to put an extra lap on his tires in qualifying because he had that Chase Elliott wreck happen right behind him when he was almost on his lap. So he only had a few minutes to cool down and had to go out there and run another wicked fast lap, another heat cycle on the tires. And I think without that, he would have been pole. So I think the thing that concerns me about Van Gisbergen is he doesn't have experience in NASCAR pit stops. And that could be his downfall. Other than that, I think he's probably the best car and the fastest car in the race. I think my 2 favorites are Hamlin and SVG.
I reacted like that when you said that. That's because I like him a lot too. I think his experience across different organizations of racing, I really think that experience is going to come into play today, especially when it's a street race like this.
Yeah. I think.
No, continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. I was just going to say, I think I totally agree with you. I think it's cool to see. It's crazy to think about too. Like Raikkonen went to Watkins Glen and was a mid-pack car. You know, I think he was in the high teens, low 20s when he was actually in contention. Van Gisbergen gets in at Chicago and is up front. It's really cool to see. I think that speaks volumes to his talent in a race car, and hopefully this helps him get future opportunities if he wants in NASCAR.
I'm excited to watch him. I think he's going to do great today.
Yeah.
But I got one last question for you.
Fire away.
If you can build a team with 2 other drivers with you, one past and one current, who would it be?
One past and one current. Well, the past one is easy. I'm gonna go Dale Earnhardt. I don't think we'll ever see another one like him. I don't think his passion, fire has been matched in the sports sense. And I don't think his popularity has really been seen since either. Like someone in the sense that they have fans and they have people who hate him, and everyone's got an opinion on him. The closest thing we've got to Dale Earnhardt is definitely Kyle Busch. I mean, it's Kyle Busch is similar in some regards, and if you think about it, almost in the same way, Kyle was hated early on. Widely, most people didn't like him because he was aggressive. His fans were super strong supporters. As Kyle Busch has gotten older, I think now more than ever, people really like Kyle Busch. I mean, I have gone through this myself. I feel like that Kyle now is just mellowed out a little bit now that he's at RCR, and I just like him a lot more. I don't hate him the way I did when he was at Joe Gibbs. So my past pick, Dale Earnhardt. My present pick, yeah, I'm going to stick with Kyle. I'm going to say Kyle Busch. I'm going to put Kyle Busch and Dale Earnhardt on the same race team. I keep thinking about it. I don't think I'd want Jimmy Johnson. He does count as active because he's still racing. And then you go through the list of drivers. I think Larson still has some to prove before he's in that GOAT consideration level. I'm trying to think of who else I might even consider on this list to be a part of it. I think that's an easy answer for me. I think I'm gonna go Kyle and Dale. If we're talking one active, one pass. I think that might be problematic because you've got 2 similarly minded teammates, but maybe they'd understand each other really well. I'd love to hear who you guys would put for the present driver. I'm less interested in the past because there are a lot of options. But in the present, I would think that I don't know. Who would you guys put?
I'm a huge Christopher Bell fan. I'd pick Bell right off the gun.
Interesting.
So I
think he's got a lot of
Kyle
potential.
Busch as well. I love Kyle Busch. I was always a Kurt Busch fan and had to like his brother since his brother was in. And then when he got all that hate, I thought, you got to love the villain. And he's a great driver. He could win at any course.
Yep. Wow. All right. Well, guys.
I really want to thank you for answering those questions and elaborating on them. And like I said earlier, I'm rooting for you to be the first Truck Series driver for the 5 for 5. I'm cheering for you, man.
I'd rather you root for me to get a win here at some point.
and wins as well. And wins as well.
Then switching teams 5 times. But anyways, I get the point. Thanks, guys, for having me. Great talking to y'all.
So Steve, if people want to follow you and see what you're doing, how can they follow you?
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook is just Stephen Mazzolli. Last name Mallozzi. I also write for TobyChristie.com, so my story, piece by piece, comes out every couple of weeks on that website. So if you want to follow that along, it's called The Memoirs of a Small-Time Racing Driver, I think. And then if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's the one that people seem to really enjoy following me on. It's at Driver Malaz. So DriverMallozz. So, yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. Good luck on the rest of the show, and enjoy the race today. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you again for your time today.
For coming out.
Thanks,
Everybody, make sure they follow Steven.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
You.
All right. Now get back to. Oh, that was good. Good job there, Joey. Now we get back to what people come here for, and that's you guys' picks. I know there's not a lot here because it's it's a new format for a race and a new place. So, what do you have for track facts here for us? Right?
Yeah, so obviously I am going light here. I suggest everybody do the same. Uh, I know about as much as Dan knows with this race, so I
Hey, there
can't
we go.
really say anybody's wrong about any bet they want to place. But yeah, we'll get into the track facts here. So this is the NASCAR Cup Series race at Chicago Street Course. This is race number 18 of 36. As I said, it is a street course, the first one that NASCAR has ever done. We'll be doing 194 miles, which is 100 laps. This is inside of Chicago, Illinois. It is 2.2 miles. Yeah, we're going to be doing right turns, left turns. There's actually 12 turns here. We're going to be running through Michigan Avenue and finish on Columbus Drive. And it's a really nice course. It's beautiful. One thing I did find, a little stat here. So it seems like the inaugural races, whoever wins it actually becomes the champion. Chase Elliott in 2020 won the Daytona Roval for the first time, won the title that year. Nashville in 2021 was won by Kyle Larson. He won the championship that year. Last year we had the LA Coliseum and Gateway, and Joey Logano won those, and he also won the title that year. So that's something to look into. Maybe whoever wins this, we gotta put a future on the championship odds there.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just gonna say, it looks like whoever wins this race, I'll be putting a future ticket on.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
just think.
good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not on much. I actually have 4 outrights that I spread a unit across, and then I took Toyota to one because I like the price. It's at plus 190. But I do have 2 guys I want to talk about. The first one is William Byron. So he's been 8th or better in 7 of his last 8 starts. He has 3 wins this season. He looks like a title contender, which we just talked about. He was 5th at Coda, 14th at Sonoma. That Sonoma result was the only finish worse than 8th since April. Another guy I like is Martin Truex Jr. He won in Sonoma 2 races ago. He was runner-up last Sunday. So he has 4 consecutive top 5 finishes on the season. He also has a points lead. He has 5 road course wins now. And, I think he should be the favorite here. He's another one I like. I'll let Joey Tron talk about his 2 guys because I like both of them as well.
Yeah, so I'm just on 2 outrights today. Nothing crazy. I'm on Shane Van Gisbergen to win at plus 1,000 from WinBet. He had one of the fastest and most efficient cars in practice, clearing the fastest time during practice by 3 whole seconds, which is actually a lot considering this is a street race. He's starting 3rd today, and kind of backpacking off what Stephen kind of said earlier today. He's got a lot of experience. He's raced in a couple of different race organizations, and I really think that experience is going to come into play today, given that it's a street race. And the other guy I'm on is Christopher Bell at plus 900 to win. Bell's typically good on road courses, although this year's been a little rocky for him. But one thing that I did notice about Christopher Bell, since Charlotte Motor Speedway race, he has gotten consistently better each week, gotten 24th, 11th, 9th, and 7th. And, I'm a trends guy, and I see his trends with him getting better and better each week. And I think this could be a great track for him to bust out a win.
Yeah, I think they wanted to give. I just think if they wanted to give this the true feeling of Chicago, they should have left all the potholes and the construction cones up and make them race around those.
They got the manholes in there still.
I just kind of feel like cheating, but hey, I just don't want to say driving around downtown Chicago. It's nuts, but carry on.
And so I like both of those guys as well. I took SVG earlier in the week when I was doing a little background on him. He does street courses in Australia, I think. So he uses cars that are close to what the stock car is. Yesterday he said his car was perfect. He feels comfortable. He looked that way when he was driving yesterday in practice and qualifying. So I'm on board with that one. Also, Christopher Bell. I think I got a way better price on him. I forget when I took him. I think I got like 17-1. But
damn, yeah, I took it this morning.
Yeah, same thing. think I think Toyota's going to do well here. I like Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, as I said, Christopher Bell. I think Ty Gibbs could be a dark horse. I think what Bell does well here. So yeah, that's what I did. I split between Byron, Bell, Truex, and Chase Elliott.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, hopefully get this race in. Hopefully it stops raining and lightning, and they get the race in today. At least I know the people of Chicago will hope they get the race in today. That's for sure.
I hope so too.
Sun is shining right now in Indianapolis for what it's worth. So hopefully it stays that way out in Chicago too.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see the race, but I'm off tomorrow too, so I'm cool with that Monday day race.
There you go. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys got anything else you want to throw out there? Happy 4th of July to everybody, or a little bit early, but.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. I guess next week we'll be Atlanta. I think we have Cody Zeeb coming on. He's really good at breaking down these races, so he should be a good guest. Other than that, yeah, I'm just excited for the Chicago race. Make sure you check out my pick at Pick Advisor. I have a money line for MLB today. That's about it. I have a whole bunch of stuff for tomorrow. So yeah, follow me on Twitter at Wrycape. Actually, all social media. Make sure you get in the Insiders Room Discord.
Yeah, I got 2 MLB plays up over at Pick Advisor as well under Joey Tron. If you want to follow me on Twitter at Betting Underdog. And my free play today is the Philadelphia Union. Draw no bet.
Dupe.
There you go. There you go. All right, sounds good, guys. Rye, it's never a show unless you close us out in your own way. So
that's right. Happy race day. Let's cash some tickets.
All right, let's cash some tickets, guys. See you guys next weekend, and have a good week.